you turn the other cheek. So if you get slapped, you turn so that they can hit the other cheek. Islam is like, no, we need to go fight back.
Show me the Bible verse that says that, please.
Turn the other cheek?
Yeah. Can you show me the Bible verse that says that?
Okay. Turning the other cheek is a phrase in Christian doctrine from the Sermon on the Mount that refers to responding to insult without retort and allowing more insult. This passage is very...
show me the verse.
I didn't even finish saying it. And this passage is variously interpreted as accepting one's predicament, commanding non-resistance, or advocating Christian pacifism. Okay, here's the Bible verse. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. And this is the King James Bible version. So turn the other cheek. If someone tells you evil, then you hit. Islam doesn't believe in that. Islam says, like, if somebody...
It's not saying literally if you get hit, turn the other cheek.
That's actually exactly what it says.
All right, here. Let me give you more context. Hold up. Let me find what verse is it? I start at verse 38.
39.
Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, and shaken together, and running over, shall men give unto you bosom.
You're just reading a different quote.
For the same measure that ye make withal, it shall be measured unto you again. And he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall into the ditch? The disciple is not above his master, but everyone that is perfect shall be as his... That's not the verse.
You're just reading something else. This quote specifically says that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also.
What's the chapter and verse of that?
Matt, verse 39.
What's the chapter?
I don't know.
Matthew 5. Matthew 5. Let's see what Jesus is talking about. Okay. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in the danger of the judgment. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say unto his brother, Rakah, shall be in the danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, thy fool, shall be in danger of hell, fire. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar in their remembrance that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar and go thy way. First, be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. Agree with thy adversary.
Bro, you're just reading. What is this? What is? How does this disprove the quote that I read? You reading more of it?
I'm just reading the whole context of it. That's all.
It's pretty specific with the context.
When you really see it, the Old Testament and the New Testament, they're all together. You don't just skip over to the whole New Testament is basically a retelling of the Old Testament. If you really read through it, throughout the entire New Testament, all Christ is doing is quoting the Old Testament, because the Old Testament is very important.
You know what book has never been manipulated? You know what book has no 30 different versions of it?
What book?
The Quran. Stayed consistent for 1400 years. There's been so many different... There's so many different versions of the Bible, bro.
Yeah, because it's been translated into a whole bunch of different languages.
Have you ever heard of the Council of Nicaea?
Technically, there's a bunch of... if you want to get technical about it, the English Quran is different than Arabic Quran. That's
true, but the original Quran has never been manipulated, has never been altered. It's the same.
Well, I'm not here to debate that because I don't know that much about the Quran, but I mean, we have the original manuscripts from the Bible.
Have you heard of the Council of Nicea? There's been a lot of chapters that have been removed, and the Bible's been tampered and manipulated with a lot over the years. And you could argue about specific people who might have tampered with it, but it's definitely been changed.
I mean, you could say that, but the original things are still there. So
most people haven't read the original version. You know, like most of the factions of Christianity, the different ones, they go off of the manipulated versions. That's why there's so many different sects of Christianity, and there's only pretty much one. Like you're either a Muslim or you're not. Islam is very consistent. Like I know there's small things like Sunni and Shia, but overall it's just either you're Muslim or you're not.
Okay. The Bible's pretty simple too. You just gotta keep the commandments and follow Christ.
Depends on the version of the Bible you're talking about.
What other versions of the Bible are there? Sneako?
There's so many, bro.
Okay, tell me some.
Okay, let's look up versions of the Bible. We have the King James Version, the English Standard Version, the New American Standard, the New English Bible.
You know the funny thing about all those different versions, Sneako?
What?
They're all just different translations, buddy. That's all.
So which one do you know is the one to go by? The Quran is just the Quran. You just go by the Arabic version.
Me personally, so go pick up an Arabic Quran.
I have one. It's right behind me.
In Arabic, full Arabic.
You want to see?
No English in there.
Yeah, I have one.
There's no English in it at all. All right, I want you to read one thing from it, buddy.
I can't read Arabic.
So what's the point of having it?
Makes me happy. Makes me feel comfortable.
What's the point of having it if you can't read it, Sneako?
Because this is the truth. Obviously, the one I have is altered, and it's not specific exactly to the original text. But the original text of the Quran has never been tampered with, has never been manipulated. And this is the one that you could always go to. It's the same. It's consistent for 1,400 years.
So you have never mind.
So I have a tempered version, correct? But no, it's directly translated from the original Quran. When you go to different versions of the Bible,
it's tampered, but it's just a retranslation. That doesn't mean tampered.
It's been translated 724 languages. Well, they did remove the Council of Nicea from the original Bible. A lot of people haven't read those parts of the Bible.
Council of Nicea? What are you? You're saying there's a book called the Council of Nicea?
Yeah.
There's not no book called the Council of Nicea.
It's not a whole book, but let's see.
They have books like
they had a council.
They have the Apocrypher. I have an Apocrypher. You have the Book of Enoch. You have the Book of Jubilee. You have different books, yes, but there's no book of what?
There was a council called the Council of Nicea that manipulated the original Bible. The main three things.
And what books did they take out?
I don't know if they took out books, but they changed the original scripture.
Okay.
That never happened. And my point is that didn't happen. There was no council for the Quran. The Quran was written.
What did they change?
I don't know because I haven't read the original Bible. I've read the manipulated versions. I've read the one that they were fed to me from different sections and factions.
You're just giving us, but like I'm not gonna sit up here and disagree with you, but it's just like you're trying to tell us about stuff that you haven't even looked into. So it's like,
well, if you
why
look
are you talking about stuff that you haven't really looked into?
I'm telling you about the Council of Nicea. That's where they go. They change the Bible. You're telling me about it,
and I'm asking you questions, and you're not answering my questions.
I'm not an expert. I've never claimed to be, but I'm telling you that this is true. There was a council that manipulated the original Bible. That's a fact.
Okay, and then I ask you more questions, and then you.
I'm saying I don't know, but that's getting past like my point. My point is that the Quran hasn't been manipulated by a council. It was recited by Muhammad, peace be upon him, and then that's exactly what the Quran is. And it hasn't been tampered with. It's been consistent the whole time. That's the point. I will look into the Council of Nicea more. I would like to read the original Bible. I think it's worthwhile studying. I think it's extremely important. But I'm just giving you a reason why I believe in the Quran more, because I can be certain that this hasn't been tampered with the way the Bible has.
That's perfectly fine. You feel me? But I just feel like it's weird that you have to base your faith on a faith that you think is false. Like, I mean that by like.
Well, that's every faith. Every faith thinks other faiths are false.
Every time you talk about Islam, Christianity has to come up out of your mouth. Like, I've never just heard you just talk about Islam.
No, I have. I've done whole podcasts. That's not true. That's not true. I just did the debate. The debate I just did today. That's not true. The debate I did today. Well, no, actually, you got a good point. I have been, because I come from a Christian background, so that's my reference point. That's my reference point. But I understand what you're saying. Like, maybe I don't need to disrespect or say or talk down upon it. But that's just, I'm just explaining to people why I have the current faith that I have.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. But it's like you're not really talking about the current faith that you have. You're talking more about why one thing is better than the other.
Well, that's what helped me find this. Like,
That'd be like me. I don't know. Be like me. Oh man, I love Prime. Yo, this Prime is way better than Gatorade.
That's
man.
that's actually the entire.
Prime is way better than.
That's the whole marketing tactic that Prime has is on Gatorade. Actually.
And it is.
So how are you criticizing that when that is what it?
Because that's exactly what I think you're doing. I think you're using Christianity as a marketing tactic to grow your brand.
Well, that's what they call dawah in the Quran is trying to spread the truth. Like once you realize the truth, it's good to go and bring other people on board with the truth.
I feel that, but like I think it's more to build your brand than anything. Me personally.
You think just now me talking about the Council of Nicea, like that's me trying to build my brand, or just have a conversation?
No, but I think you're just trying to get hot tweets every time you talk about.
Well, I'm not tweeting right now. I'm not tweeting right now.
Like the three Muslims, whenever I watch their podcast, they just talk about Islam. They just talk about why they follow Islam, this and that. They don't always bring up Christianity. You know, they do sometimes, but it's not in a derogatory way. But it's, oh man, this is why Islam is so much better than Christianity. Here, you know what? Let me go on your Twitter real quick.
I understand that, but right now
I don't want to just be.
Okay. That might be true. I have tweeted about that, but right now you're equating that to the conversation we just had. I was just talking about how there's so many different versions of the Bible, and there's one version of the Quran. That doesn't mean that I'm doing it for my brand. I'm just having a conversation.
But you say there's so many different versions of the Bible, so people in here that aren't informed, they're gonna be like, oh man, there's a bunch of different versions of the Bible.
That's true.
Then I asked you to read those different versions, and the different versions you said was the KJV, the NIV, and all those versions are the exact same. They're just in different translations.
No, there's the Church of Mormonism has their own Bible. The Catholic Church has their own Bible. The Church of Science, the Protestants, the Lutherans.
Wait, the Church of what?
The Church of Science.
No. Before that, you said what Bible does the Catholics have that's different than a regular Bible?
There's a Roman Catholic Bible.
Well, okay, what's in a Roman Catholic Bible that's different than a regular Bible?
I don't know, but there's different versions. I can't tell you, but there's different versions, right? There's Bibles that the Catholics recognize that other Christians don't recognize. There's a Catholic Bible.
It's not, I mean, you're saying Bible, it may be doctrines, or beliefs, but is it the Bible that's different?
Bibles used by Catholics differ in the number of order of books from those typically found in Bibles used by Protestants. Yeah.
All right, what's the three things that Christianity, Judaism, and Islam all have in common?
Abrahamic religion.
Exactly. So, at the core of it,
that's why it's worth studying all of them. Yeah. But I think